the resolution that I read, much of the international situation assessment we concur. There are, however, two aspects which we feel are more important from the point of view of our experience in India. And since I mentioned John Foster, my greetings to him, salutes to him for being part of the international movement for I think nearly 5 decades now. And therefore I join all of you in giving him a special felicitation. But in the international situation, what we see, apart from the COVID and the crisis of capitalism, which has come out in a very, very sharp manner during the last 2 years, and the bankruptcy of capitalism, particularly of neoliberalism. But at the same time, the offensive of neoliberalism continues. While you have this great stimulus packages being given by the advanced countries, all third world countries, developing countries are being pressurized to accept the prescriptions of neoliberalism. As a result of which, in a country like India, you have today a virtual loot of our resources, privatization which has never been seen in the last 7 decades of the scale and the nature of this loot, and the aggrandizement of corporates and the big capitalists. And the manner in which neoliberalism has chosen to finance the stimulus packages is through government raising the funds by issuing government bonds into the stock markets, which inflates the stock markets, and the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. So this is a method in this crisis also that neoliberalism has been implementing, which is generating a lot of public protest. And to contain the public protest, there is a marked rightward political shift in the world, with the right-wing governments assuming office, whipping up chauvinism, emotional slogans, to divide and disrupt the unity of the working class and the working people against neoliberalism and this exploitation. This rightward shift is very pronouncedly seen in India with the government we've had now for the last 7 years. And this right-wing government, which whips up what we call in India communalism, that is religious tensions, and disrupts the unity of the working people, has set out on a course to destroy the very constitutional foundations of India. Now this is a very, very serious assault, and it's a virtual fascist assault on the Indian constitution and our secular democracy, and this is what the people of India are today battling against. And in the process, you have India, on the one hand, practicing policies which eliminate reason in public discourse. Unreason becomes more prominent. Instead of rationality, it's irrationality. And it only reminds one of what George Lucas wrote about the rise of Hitler in a very, very heartbreaking book called The Destruction of Reason. He said, how did the German people, inheritors of the most rationalist philosophy, embrace and internalize Nazi philosophy? He said that's because of the systematic destruction of reason that took place. Replacement of irrationality with rationality. I mean, replacement of rationality with irrationality. And it is that created this mindset where fascism became acceptable. We are going through that phase in India today, a very dangerous phase. And that is what we communists are battling. There's a rewriting of history that is taking place. And in that rewriting of history, I'm glad that finally in Britain, I believe Wales has started teaching about the colonial experience of Britain. Finally, the great empire, the British Empire, history is being taught to these students. That's a very, very positive step. And I'm glad and I hope that this will continue. Because unless we know our history properly, as communists, all of us know, we cannot define our own future. So, but at the same time, in India, the struggles of the working class and our peasantry, particularly, have been very sharp and growing very strongly. The unity of the working class with the peasantry The current struggle of our peasantry has gone on for one whole year, demanding the repeal of anti-farm laws that this government has brought in favor of big corporates and multinational agribusiness. Now, this struggle that's been on for more than a year has been met with a very high degree of repression, supported by the working class and the seeds of a worker-peasant alliance in India. The beginnings of it are being laid. So we are in the midst of these challenges. And I know I've been given 8 minutes time.
Carry on.
Because in India, in our party congresses, we particularly choose the person you don't want to hear to be the first speaker after lunch. I mean, no offense. I said it in pure jest.